Yo, in Black America Radio, welcome back, welcome back, welcome black. This is In Black America Radio with your host, Rasta B. Today is Friday, March 13th, Friday the 13th, 2020. And today's title, Coronavirus, Andrew Gillum and the Global Economic Hiccup. Guest calling number 516-531-9992. Before I start, let me get my co-host Smoke in there. Smoke, are you on the line?
Yup. You hear me?
What's good, man? What's good? Starting this out next year.
Big Friday.
Early. Yeah.
Glad for the weekend to be started. So
yeah,
I'm back in the building again.
You got plans to do shit for the weekend with this whole Corona shit?
Nah. Well, no, I actually got to do some painting and shit. So outside of that, I'll probably just be, you know what I mean? We ain't really doing much.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna buy a dishwasher this weekend. So I'm gonna swing by Home Depot to Brand Smart. You know, all that good shit. But other than that, yeah, I'm not letting this Corona shit don't scare me. I be laughing at the people that's panicking and all kind of shit. I'm like, you guys, especially black people. I'm like, come on, man. Like, we not even dropping like flies and shit, but we out here fucking panicking and like, yo, compose yourself. You know what I'm saying? Compose yourself.
Stores sold out of everything. Out of like, well, not everything, but like anything with disinfectant, bleach, shit like that, hand wipes. They don't got none of that. I went to Walmart. But really, it's like the major stores. Because I went to Walmart, and Walmart whole section like that is done. But then I went to Food Lion, and Food Lion looked like a regular day.
Yeah.
They got
you know what else?
Stuff, so,
you know what stores like that too? Home Depot.
Shipments.
Home Depot's like that too. Because my girl, she went to Costco's and shit. That shit was empty. She goes to Kroger and Walmart. It's just empty. She goes to Home Depot. She said all the little cleaners, all that shit's there. Because what happened is you don't think about them stores. They keep showing you on TV and shit, Walmart, the grocery stores, so you thinking that. You're not thinking CVS. You're not thinking, you know what I'm saying? You're not thinking the other little spots, Dollar Tree and shit. You thinking to go to the major spots.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, herd mentality.
I'm like, oh, man. That shit crazy. My mom, she's trying to buy some shit. And all the toilet paper is going, like, you know what I'm saying? So, like, they just stocking up on the toilet paper, boy.
Because I'm guessing because they said if you get it, you end up having violent diarrhea and all kind of shit like that. I'm like, again, like, come on, man, shit. You taking all the tissue don't mean shit. I ain't gonna do nothing for your life. You know what I'm saying? In the grand scheme of the thing, it's not like, you know, because at the end of the day, we're talking about your immune system and your health. Ain't nobody was more focused on their immune system and their health than black people. You know what I'm saying? For the last 20 years. You know what I'm saying? For the last 20 years. So, really, the way black people should look at this isn't on some scary pandemic shit. We should look at it as a wake-up call to reality. You know what I'm saying? Yo, you got to keep your physical fit. You can't sit around here slouching and fat and unhealthy and, yo, you got to work out. You got to do your calisthenics. You got to watch what you eat. You know what I'm saying? Take little supplements or whatever. But, yeah, like, just keep building yourself up like we've been doing. Because when these diseases and shit hit, we have to be prepared in a situation of how do we survive it. Right now, you see, we're not dropping like flies. So then you got to say to yourself, okay, well, you know what? Whatever we're doing, we need to keep doing it. not panicking. You see what I'm saying? Same shit with the stock market. There's not a time for you as a black person to be crying and panicking. No. You're supposed to sit here and say to yourself, okay, I keep hearing everybody talk about the stock market, but that shit look high as hell to me. Oh shit, the damn market dropped. You got mad cheap stocks right now. Disney from 135 to now. Now I think it went back up to at least 101. But at one point it was like $90-something. You got AMD, which is the chip stock that dealing with the computers and shit. That shit was like $64, and now it dropped down to like $40, but it's up again to like 41. You know what I'm saying? You got Groupons now. Used to be $4. That shit like it was like 77 cents. It's now like 88 cents, 89 cents.
Yeah, all of them joints down pretty much.
All of them, Nike, all of them shits drop. So you're not supposed to look at these situations and panic. You're supposed to look at these situations and study. Because let me tell you something, yo. You can hate white people all day, yo. I ain't gonna get mad at you. But I tell you one thing. They're like a clock. They're mad predictable. You see what I'm saying? They're mad predictable. You can literally predict, okay, something go bad, this whole fucking market drop. You jump in there, look at it like an elevator. You jump in because the elevator's down. What happened? Trump going to do some shit behind the scene and make that shit run up. Boom, you make some bread. It's mad predictable. It ain't based off fundamentals. It's not based off shit because you got to think about it. If the stock market was based off of fundamentals and earnings and shit like that, I mean, right now I wouldn't put my money in the stock market. I would still be paying attention. You see what I'm saying? I don't care how high it rise up. Because this whole corona shit, we got like 3 months to this shit. You know what I'm saying? Nobody earnings is going to be good. We got 3 months. You know what I'm saying? Before they can really say, yo, okay, this is, you know what I'm saying? They start to really say, okay, we're zeroed out type shit like that. But we ain't finished with this shit. We still got next week. If they holding the children out of school for another 2 weeks like they saying, we still got at least 2 more weeks. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, just pay attention is what I'm saying. Don't be afraid. Pay attention. Look at the pattern. Because that's where the solution comes from.
The kids out down there?
Huh?
Kids out of school down there? The little kids?
Yeah. Yeah. They closed the school there.
Oh, okay. They ain't closed our school. Not yet.
Yeah, and they're saying they're supposed to close it for the next 2 weeks. Or was it this week? Nah. Yeah, for the next 2 weeks, I want to say. Yeah, they shut down and shit like that. So just to wipe it down and sterilize it, basically. You know what I'm saying? Because the whole thing that they're doing is they're saying the less people interacting with each other, the less likely the virus could spread.
Yeah,
meaning that the virus, then it ended up dying out. You know what I'm saying? Because this shit, again, if you got a strong immune system, shit ain't doing shit. The shit passing through your body. You know what I'm saying? All right, so check this, Monk. So I'm like, yo, I says on Roland Martin's page, I says, yo, we acting like past germs and viruses to each other every day. Right? Don't let this panic shit start making you do shit out of the ordinary. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like just doing dumb shit because you're afraid for no reason. So somebody gonna reply back, okay, you be the brave one and go out there and expose yourself. And I'm like, the coronavirus is airborne. So every time you're breathing, you're exposing yourself. Like, what the fuck is he talking about? You know what I'm saying? Like, but we're so stupid, you know what I'm saying? Because we're listening to the fearmongers tell us some shit. If I'm sitting, like the example I give to people is, if I'm if I'm at work and there's somebody at my job and they sick, and now they don't come to work the next day and shit because they not feeling well, but then I start feeling sick a day or two later, what am I gonna say? Damn, this person gave me their cold. You see what I'm saying? So that's the, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, yo, if you have a strong immune system, you don't got nothing to worry about. You may not get sick, or if you do get sick, your body gonna fight that shit off. The ones with a weak immune system, I ain't got no advice for you. That's something that you gotta deal with. But the majority of us with a strong immune system, the hell you panicking about? The hell you know what I'm saying? You bugging the fuck out for what? The shit I don't get, especially when it comes to black people, because again, we wasn't just afraid when Ebola was popping. And Ebola was killing black people. You know what I'm saying? Ebola was killing black people. We wasn't even as concerned. Why? Because the media wasn't that concerned. But once the media tell black people, all right, y'all, get mad now. That's the media. The media be like this. And then we all get mad and angry. Now we mad and angry. Now we want to scream. I was looking at let me see if I can pull this one up. Was it this one? Yes, I was looking at this story. I'm trying to wait till it pull up. Talking about the corona shit from a podcast, Joe Rogan's podcast. I was looking at that shit, and they had this dude. He's like a infection investigator or some shit like that. Like he investigates the germs and shit like that. You know what I'm saying?
Right. So like scientist type cat or something. Yeah,
a little scientist type dude or whatever. And he was talking and shit. He was the one. He was saying like, obviously you're supposed to wash your hands. You know what I'm saying? Like basic cleanliness. You know what I'm saying? He said, but all the stuff that the people saying on the TV and shit about wash your hands and use this the sanitation stuff or whatever, because that's supposed to, you know what I'm saying, do whatever. He was like, that don't do shit because the shit's airborne. So, I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, don't not wash your hands, because that's what makes me laugh when people start acting like washing your hand and all kind of shit of basic cleanliness is this fucking great idea. And I'm like, that you supposed to already been doing that. If you ain't been doing that shit, you know what I'm saying? Like,
because the CDC site is pretty much like promoting like, you know, that washing your hands pretty much and cleaning and disinfecting areas like your kitchen countertops and stuff like that. So they got like a solution of a third of a cup bleach per gallon of water. Mix that up. And, you know what I mean? You could just throw that in a little sprayer and you in the game. So
you know what that let me know?
The precautions is just like some little cartoon thing, like, hey, wash your hands. They got the little, you know what I mean? It's just like something simple.
Yeah.
It's like if you're just really looking at the information itself instead of like what's happening or the, like the programming, like the news networks and shit like that. It's like you really see that it's not that serious. When you look at the stats on the deaths, you see that it's not that serious. You know what I'm saying? It's just like it's basically like a flu mixed with pneumonia. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
it's like that shit put together.
That shit's some crazy shit, man. I'm sitting over here like, yo, it don't take nothing to cause mass hysteria.
COVID-19.
Yeah, I mean, again, this is no different than if you go in someplace to a gym and you find out they got a staph infection and shit. Like, You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, there's certain hygiene that naturally everyday life is supposed to be doing. You know what I'm saying? So we talking about
definitely.
On
And a lot of people
it's like,
don't
you know,
do
like,
that.
yo, I heard Biden say we're gonna have to take some radical changes, like wash our hands every time we come out the bathroom. I said that's radical,
Yeah.
but
To,
I done
to
seen
some
some
people,
nasty people. Yeah,
I
you know what
done
I'm
seen
saying.
it all the time. You know what I'm saying? You be in the other urinal. They hit that urinal on their side and finish, and then you just hear that door swing. You're like, yo, what the fuck? I hear no fucking sink going. No sink action. It's like, god damn, man. So it's just like, so you just basically just got to be careful, clean up behind us, especially, you know, you got to be in a work environment. You know what I mean? Take extra care when it comes to shit like that. But, I mean, the biggest issue is your, you know what I mean, your health and your cleanliness.
That's it. You got control over that.
You washing yourself, washing your hands.
That. Your immune system and shit like that, and building yourself up. That's your responsibility. Then you will walk around. Because again, like I'm talking to my girl, she like, yeah, you know, I think we should get a generator, because what if the power goes out? I said, the power? Like, what are you talking? I said, yo, you acting like the fucking coronavirus is gonna, you know what I'm saying? Like, you sit there, like the horror movies, and you standing behind the fucking nuclear power button, and now your ears bleeding and your lungs and shit just melting, and you just collapse.
It's a wrap anyway.
You know what I'm saying?
It's a wrap. But it's like a generator good to have, but it's just like to go out now and like blow your budget to get a you know, a generator or anything. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm gonna go stack up on $400 worth of groceries because I'm scared as hell right now. Or I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. You know what I mean? So it's just like, you know, you gotta be smart about it. But if you're really looking at the information, like the actual like stats and shit like that, you know, it ain't that serious. So. But it just shows you that you know, the power of investing your time or your thought processes in the media. You know what I'm saying? It's like you could easily go from it's nothing where they was, you know, you was just seeing people joking on Chinese people to now it's like people want to clear the stores out. They talking about you know, separating people, quarantines, and you know what I mean, people automatically thinking you know, armed militia coming to lock you down and make sure it's like that shit crazy. You know? How quickly that can develop. You know what I'm saying?
So here it goes right here. I got the computer up. So it goes, well, the title is, I watched Joe Rogan's interview, and he's an infectious disease expert about the coronavirus. Here are 13 things he said. This is about a dude named Christopher Hudspeth from BuzzFeed. He's a BuzzFeed staff member. Ponders, ironically, before this guy had wrote this article on my recommend, and it goes, my recommend on YouTube, but it goes to the title is the Joe Rogan Experience interview with Michael Osterholm, Osterholm, right? So it was uploaded on March 10th, 2020. So it goes, the first part, he goes, all right, this is going to unfold for months to come yet. People are handling this like it's a corona blizzard, 3 days, and we're back to normal. But this is a coronavirus winter. We are going to have the next 3 to 6 months or more of this. That's what Osterman says. This is just the beginning, and there's limited data. Then he says, this could be 10 to 15 times worse than the seasonal flu in terms of illness and fatalities. So Osterholm estimates that this could require 48 million hospitalizations 96 million cases, and more than 480,000 deaths over the next 3 to 7 months. According to Austin Holm, having certain underlying health problems. Now, this is the part that affects black people. The first two don't affect black people. About is unfolding for months to come, have nothing to do with black people. Okay, that's cool. Our immune system is strong enough. This being worse than the seasonal flu, again, no problem. Our immune system is strong enough. We have the herbs. We know what to do. Now, this is the part that black people should worry about. According to Austin Holm, having certain underlying health problems play a role in the effect of the coronavirus. For example, in China, men over the age of 70, this is why they were saying so many older people was dying. In China, men over the age of 70 who also smoked, 8 to 10% of them died. So what he said in the clip was he was saying how men over the age of 70 smoke, but not the women. A lot of the women didn't smoke that old. So he said in America, though, issue would be obesity. That's what the issue would be on the American side, the obesity. And again, fittest of the fit shall survive. So if you're worrying about your health and you're working out and changing your eating, and you've been doing that, keep doing that. If you're thinking about doing that, then you need to make a decision. You see, because and it's not about the coronavirus. It's about any biological attack. Making sure your body is prepared and strong enough for that. You know? Then they go 4. Holmes says there's an incubation period, meaning there's a slight delay from the time you were exposed, being in the room, breathing in the same air as someone who is infected, to the time you get sick. It's about 4 days. How do they know this? Austin Holmes say, we have data from people who were exposed one time and one time only. And we know when and where they were exposed and how soon they got sick after. He also said in the video, so I'm just reading the list, but some of the stuff that I remember he said I'm just going to share also. He also said that's the reason why the cruise ships, there were so many of them getting sick on the cruise ship. Because on the cruise ship, they recycle the air. So because they was recycling the air, you was inside there breathing the virus being recycled through the air system. And he said that the worst thing that they did was keep them on the boats because now they're stuck. It's like they're keeping them sick. He said what they should have done was took them off the boats and have them in isolated rooms, and then that would allow them to heal. Because, you know what I'm saying, you have the virus isolated, now it's just the virus in their body fighting shit compared to you just, you know what I'm saying? It's like you screwing an infected chick, you know what I'm saying? And you keep screwing her and you wonder why you keep getting burnt. Like, yeah, you need a break, you know what I'm saying?
So shit won't get better.
Yeah, I'm taking the medicine and everything. the shit just won't go away. Yeah, all right. So now they got part 5. According to Austin Holmes, you can be contagious but not have symptoms. Austin Holmes shared information about a recent study in Germany in which a group of 9 people who had been exposed to someone who was infected had their saliva, nose, blood, stool, urine, etc. sampled. Though they weren't coughing or showing symptoms yet, it was found that they already had high levels of the virus. Austin Holmes agrees that wearing surgical masks to prevent sickness is largely nonsense which doesn't make sense to me because if it's airborne, why would it be nonsense? However, if you're sick, they may help prevent you from spreading it when you cough into the mask. Why would the mask help a sick person from spreading it? Because when they cough in the mask, it won't go where? In the air. So why are they telling a healthy person that is stupid? It's beyond me. Every time I hear that, that never makes sense to me. That never makes sense to me.
They
Why
need them joints for other shit. They want people
exactly,
to not buy
and that's
shit.
what it is. That's what it is. They
like,
need
no,
it for
don't buy
other
that
shit.
shit.
They like, it ain't gonna help you. Give it up.
You see those people that's walking down the street and they got a fucking face mask on. You like, you know what I'm saying? They like, oh hell no. But it's like being ill prepared. And they go back to like what we saying like last week in the show, like or the last couple weeks we was on or whatever. It was like, you know, when these type of situations arise, it's like having a market that. So if you was a place that dealt with fabrics or, you know, whatever those consist of in the mask, you could be creating masks and puffing them joints out right now, you know what I'm saying?
Yep. But we're going to expound on that later on. Number 7, kids are not getting sick very often. In China, only 2.1% of the cases were under 19 years of age. One study showed that they still get infected with the disease, but they don't get sick. I'm going to repeat that again. One study showed that they still get infected with the disease, but they don't get sick. Austin Holmes says some disease, like hepatitis A, for example, manifests primarily when you're an adult. Austin Holmes thinks so many people could eventually get infected with the coronavirus that it would stop itself. How so? He says that if someone is infected but the other people near them have already had it and recovered, they're essentially immune to it. So he acknowledged that would be a heavy toll. Then it goes, 9, to strengthen your immune system. Austin Holmes recommends focusing on staying in shape, not missing cycles of prescribed medicines, EIG, high blood pressure pills, getting sleep, and eating a healthy diet. You know what I'm saying? 10.
Blood pressure pills.
Austin Holmes says hand sanitizers are great for stopping a lot of infectious disease in terms of killing bad bugs. However, he says the data that this virus is transmitted by your hands touching your face is very weak. I'm going to repeat that. However, he says the data that he says hand sanitizers are great for stopping a lot of infectious diseases in terms of killing bad bugs. However, he says the data that this virus is transmitted by your hands touching your face is very, he says not to stop using hand sanitizers, but don't expect it to have a huge impact on this bug. Why? Because it's my bad. I spoke too quick. He emphasizes that the spread of this disease is just about breathing air. You see? So just to go back into the thing when I was on Roland Martin page, and I'm like, why y'all acting like we pass viruses and germs all the time back and forth to each other. You know what I'm saying? Everybody knows. Strengthen your damn immune system. You know? And the person says, oh, well, you go outside and get exposed if you're so brave. And I'm like, get exposed? We all exposed. If you're telling me this shit is airborne, if it's airborne and we breathe air, there's a high chance that we're all exposed. So the question isn't about exposure. The question is your body strong enough to deal with it and to handle it? So that's why I'm like, you know what I'm saying, like, the whole carry on and the panic shit about it is just ridiculous because at the end of the day, again, you got to breathe. You're not going to stop breathing. So you sucking in all this coronavirus every day. Don't even know it. Because guess what? You could have it and don't show no symptoms. So at the end of the day, you might as well just live your life. You know what I'm saying? Austin Holm believes Americans should be preparing for public health crisis the way we prepare for defense. All right. 12. If you have an underlying health problem and you're over the age of 55, Osterman recommends avoiding large crowds. Finally, he believes that a safe vaccine for the coronavirus is going to take years. He said he used the 2015 Zika virus outbreak as an example, stating 5 years later, we still have no vaccine for that. So that's the coronavirus stuff. You know, and at the end of the day, like I say, yo, stop the being scared and shit like that, yo. Live your life. Live your life. You know your body, you know what I'm saying? If you got a weak immune system, keep your ass home. But for the strong and the fit, man, live your life. Yeah, stop letting the weak control you. Stop letting the weak control us. But I got a question for you, Smoke.
Yeah, tactics.
Did you get that email? The email I sent you about that story about Andrew Gillum?
Andrew Gillum, boy living his life on himself.
Hey. So they say Andrew Gillum is linked to meth overdose incident in Miami Beach hotel, police reports say.
And what's the mom?
So Andrew Gillum says, all right, so it goes, Andrew Gillum, Tallahassee's telegenic former mayor and the 2018 Democratic nominee of Florida governor, was involved in a meth overdose incident early Friday morning in a Miami Beach hotel room. The tawdry incident was an embarrassing and devastating blow to Gillum, a long-serving former city commissioner and mayor who still harbors ambitions of becoming a governor or holding some other high office. The Miami Beach Police Department report says officers was called to a West Avenue hotel around 1 a.m. Keep that in mind. 1 a.m. And found Gillum there with two other men, one of whom was being treated for possible drug overdose. Wait, hold on. I got two stories of him. So I want to make sure that I keep both up. All right. Two other men. One of them was being treated for a possible drug overdose. Gillum was too inebriated to speak with officers, though he was later reported in stable condition with normal vital signs. Police found plastic baggies of suspected crystal meth on the bed and floor of the hotel, the report says. But Gillum, in a prepared statement issued shortly. Prepared statement. That's another interesting one. Shortly after news broke, denied using the drug and offered an apology, which is strange also. I'll just point out all the little strange parts. Now I'll explain why they're strange later. I was in Miami last night for a wedding celebration. That's not strange. When first responders were called to assist one of my friends. not odd. Gillum said in a written statement. No, Gillum said in a prepared statement. Okay. While I had too much to drink, which is not odd, I want to be clear that I have never used methamphetamines. Okay, that's not, we can believe what you say. I apologize to people of Florida for this distraction this has caused our movement. That prepared statement sounds good. Gillum went on to say, I'm thankful to the incredible Miami Beach EMS team for their efforts. I will spend the next few weeks with my family and appreciate privacy during this time. That's strange. I'm going to read that again. I will. Huh?
Sound like they revived his ass or some shit. They had to revive him.
Right. Oh, no. I'm not even saying revive him. I'm just saying just the one line. I will spend the next few weeks with my family and appreciate privacy during this time. Now, this is why that sounds funny to me. You said you was at a wedding celebration in a room with your three homies. You was drunk. They were smoking meth. They got nothing to do with you, right? And your homie smoked too much meth and they had to call police. Why am I apologizing? Because I was just drunk. You know what I'm saying? Like, and when I'm saying apologizing, I'm not saying why am I apologizing for being in that position. No. Why am I going to the extent of asking for privacy? My family need privacy at this time. Privacy about what? You get what I'm saying, Smoke? Privacy about what?
Nah,
let's believe the story. You went to a wedding, got drunk. One of your friends was high on meth, and you had to call the police for him. Right? Why do I need privacy in time with my? You get what I'm saying? See, that's the statement that always come out when them guys get caught up in them funny positions. They always get caught out. When they get caught out in a funny position, they always need time and privacy with their families and shit. Because, again, what you need time and privacy for your family for? Because you was drunk at a wedding celebration? And I don't get that part. That makes no sense to me. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Because my computer had to restart my computer. That's why I'm really even expounding on a story this even long. I'm waiting for my computer to pop back up. Right.
But, I mean, he was
second.
But he a politician that somebody is following. So it's like, because what he was trying to be, he was the mayor. You know what I'm saying? So it's like,
he's trying to be the governor.
This is a guy who, he's playing around the politics, and I mean, because like you said, going to the wedding, you drink too much, shit like that. You know what I'm saying? First of all, you shouldn't be around no damn mess anyway. Like, why is that even in your circumference? You know what I'm saying? But then it's like,
no. But keep it real, because we still human beings. So let's say now you at a wedding, you get a little drunk, and then one of the homies is smoking weed that got coke in it, and you know what I'm saying? Some shit happened where now you're like, you got me. Yeah, so it's like, damn, you got me caught up in some dumb shit. And then you're gonna tell the people, like, you're gonna apologize, obviously, because of who you are and what you reflect, because you are a role model. But what I need privacy for? I don't do cocaine. Like, what I need privacy for? Or I got drunk. Yeah, I was drunk, chilling with it was my cousin's wedding. I got drunk. Now, him having weed or him having cocaine or some shit like that, or my sister's husband having meth or something, that ain't got nothing to do with me. That has absolutely nothing to do with me. So I'm going to apologize for being in that position. But what I need privacy and all this other extra stuff for, if I just told you, I ain't do none of that. I don't do meth at all. Like, I never took no methamphetamines. I never took none of that shit before. Okay, we believe you, Andrew. Right. So give me and my family some time to grieve and to mourn and to heal. And you're like, what? Heal? What? Where's all this coming from? You know what I'm saying? It shouldn't be that deep, right? But nah, it's deeper than rap. It's deeper than rap. I'm waiting for the rest for my page to pull up. But I'm gonna read from the second part of the story then, from the second part. So they go, all right. So they say he wasn't arrested. He was too intoxicated to answer questions and offered. They found 3 baggies of crystal meth on the bed and the floor. He apologized for the distraction. All right, here we go. So then it goes, according to the police, all right, that's the apology, causing our movement, family, right. Political experts say that the scandal could put an end to his political career, which, again, I don't understand. Because you got politicians that got caught out there for domestic violence and all of that shit. You know what I'm saying? So that don't make any sense. Drinking, come on. Kavanaugh was out there drinking and accused of raping a chick. You know what I'm saying? And was still, even though that's a white dude, you know what I'm saying? But the point is, this ain't, getting drunk and doing something stupid is not a high standard to get some type of scandal, you know what I'm saying, in politics. Right. You know what I'm saying? That's something that they do all the time. Is basically the point that I'm saying. It creates a huge uphill battle in any future contest he wants to enter. Like I said, that don't make sense. How? Now, if you was caught inside this hotel room and y'all was out there screwing and doing crystal meth, I could see how it creates a huge uphill battle in future contests for that. But I don't understand how does it cause a huge uphill battle if I was drunk at a wedding and a buddy of mine who have a substance abuse problem, how do that become an uphill battle for me? You see what I'm saying? So they go, one of the 3 men in the hotel room identified as a complainant told officers that he arrived around 11 p.m. and discovered the other man and Andrew Gillum inside the room under the influence of an unknown substance. That's at 11 p.m.
And then they
Gillum
show up at
and
1.
Other, right, that's 11, right. And now 1 o'clock is when the Miami Beach police officers called to the West Avenue Hotel and found Gillum there with 2 other men, one of whom was being treated for possible drug overdose. So when this dude walks in at 11 p.m., Andrew Gillum was already under the influence and high at 11. And they don't call police because this dude overdosed until 1. Okay. But keep all of that just in mind. You know what I'm saying? Keep all that in mind. He said the man with Gillum opened the hotel door before walking to the bed and collapsing in a prone position. He also saw Gillum in the bathroom vomiting. Prone position, because I didn't know what that meant. Prone position is a body position in which the person lies flat with the chest down and the back up. In anatomical termication, the dorsal side is up and the vertical side is down. So yes, he laid on his back. He fell on his face basically when he got to the bed. Okay, this is how fucked up these guys are. Okay, all right. He said he tried to rouse the other man after he began having trouble breathing. When that man collapsed again, the complainant performed chest compressions on him and called police and fire rescue. Officers tried to speak with Gillum, but was unsuccessful. The report says Mr. Gillum was unable to communicate with officers due to his inebriated state. But when fire rescue workers went back to the hotel to check on Gillum later, he appeared fine. Fire rescue stated that he was in stable condition and his vitals were normal. The report says Mr. Gillum left the hotel room and returned to his residence without incident. The police report says first responders found suspected drugs at the scene. Inside the hotel room, officers observed in plain sight 3 small clear baggies containing crystal meth on both the bed and the floor. The 3 small baggies, you know, the narcotics, no arrests made, ping, ping, pong, pong. All right, and this is the part I found was interesting. So now they're talking about in 2018, his gubernatorial campaign began to falter late in the campaign after revelations surfaced. Oh, wait. So it goes, in 2016, Hillary Clinton's presidential campaign deployed him in key states, and his name surfaced as one of her possible vice president picks. Gillum, however, is no stranger to scandal. He's been linked to FBI investigations going back several years. In 2018, his gubernatorial campaign began to falter late in the campaign after revelations surfaced about his interactions with lobbyists and undercover FBI agents during out-of-town trips. Complaints over the 2016 trips to New York City, where he saw, quote-unquote, Hamilton with the undercover agents, and Costa Rica prompt complaints to the Florida Commission on Ethics. He was fined $5,000 last year for accepting a gift over $100 from a lobbyist. Last year, federal subpoenas dropped involving his run for governor and a public relations firm owned by one of his oldest and closest advisors. The incident in Miami Beach was first reported by Twitter, by Candace Owens them. Yeah, and that's when the conservatives aided and they just threw that shit all out there to the wolves, basically. So that's that. So then, when they get to the other guy, though, and they show his picture, his Twitter and shit like that. So they got...
Oh, the Dyson guy, Travis Dyson.
Yeah. So they go, following the laws. Attempts to reach Mejia and Dyson by phone on Friday was not immediately successful. Dyson told Miami News TV that he had been friends with Gillum for a while, but did not know anything about a wedding. You hear that?
Yeah.
Attempts to reach Mejia and Dyson by phone on Friday were not immediately successful. Dyson told Miami News Times that that he had been friends with Gillum for a while, but did not know anything about a wedding. According to public records, Dyson is a registered nurse who lived in Brickhouse. His Instagram account features selfies in scrubs and medical coats. The page also featured numerous photos of Dyson, clearly a bodybuilder, posing on the beach, on boats, or at night spots, including his fiancée. His public Instagram account was turned private sometime Friday. Yeah, so they got that shit. Yeah, that's what I said. That's it.
What's the name of that Tyler Perry joint? What's the name of that Tyler Perry joint? The show he got.
What are you talking about?
It's like
which one? Recent one?
Yeah, it's like a soap opera type joint. It's like a new it got what's the name of that shit?
I ain't familiar with his
the haves and the have-nots. That's that shit. You ever seen that one?
Oh. Nah, I've never seen that one. That's with the white people, right?
Nah, it's a bunch of black people, and it's about the black politics. Like, I don't watch it. I just happened to see this episode like maybe 2-3 weeks ago, and this reminded me of that fucking just the two dudes, like the little muscular white dude. You know what I'm saying? Basically, he's like this muscular white dude is frolicking with the dude's son. He he don't look like Andrew Gillum, but he of that ilk. No beard, low haircut. You know what I'm saying? Type shit. So it was just reminded me of that. That's why I was wondering if you watched it and shit. I just happened to see that episode like a few weeks ago and shit.
Let me tell you,
that's crazy.
When they said this, I'm trying to stop, with the whole nigga shit. But when they said this dude was in a hotel room, 1:00, crystal meth, I said,
that's not a good
gay.
That ain't a good recipe.
Gay.
Yeah. If you're not getting locked up for slanging dope, if police ain't bring you out in cuffs, boy, it's a problem.
Yo,
let
me tell you,
they
had this shit in Georgia. They had like a sheriff or some shit like that. I'm listening to the story. They like the sheriff was in Piedmont Park, 1:00 or 2:00 in the morning, and then the police came in and he ran. I said, gay. It's some gay shit going on because you talking about the park, 1:00 in the morning, park, grown ass men in the park. Oh, there's some gay shit going on at Piedmont Park. What the cop would have said? Oh no, I was out there. I don't know, some stupid ass shit he said, and it was just like one of them shits where you like, nah, homie. that don't even make sense, you know what I'm saying? And to find out, he fought, he married, all that shit. And he fought and tried to, you know what I'm saying, keep the job and try to really minimize it so it's not, and that's how that shit be. So when I heard that shit, 1:00 crystal meth, nah, that's gay.
Mm-hmm.
Look, I was telling my girl, that's just like the fucking that pastor. Ted Haggard. I'm about to type his name right now. Ted Haggard. This is the dude.
He from out there?
Nah, he's a evangelical, right? And this what happened to him out in Colorado, right? So this what happens to him. Haggard made national headlines in November 2006 when male prostitute in Missouri, Mike Jones, alleged that Haggard, who had advocated against the legalization of same-sex marriage, had paid him for sex for 3 years and had also purchased and used crystal meth. After initially denying the allegations, Haggard claimed to have purchased meth and thrown it away without using it. Haggard resigned his position at the church, New Life Church, and his other leadership roles shortly after the allegations became public. Later, Haggard admitted to having used drugs, participated in some sexual activities with Jones, and engaged in an inappropriate relationship with a young man who attended New Life Church. In 2010, Haggard and his wife, Gail, founded St. James Church in Colorado Springs. As of September 2018, Haggard continues to serve as the founding pastor at St. James Church. So, like I said, that whole, once I heard the crystal meth shit, it reminded me of that story. You know what I'm saying? It reminded me of that story. And a lot of times when you be hearing them dudes that be like going out into them fucking hotels with the other dudes, you always hear.
You know what else that sound like? Got Ed Buck. Got that Ed Buck.
Ed Buck. Ed Buck. Right. He was another crystal meffer. Yeah.
Old Democrats. The Democrats he's bugging out shit. Ed Buck.
Yeah.
I couldn't think of his name. I was looking like, damn, I know I can forget my homie. Well, not my homie, but yeah.
Right.
It's crazy. And it's and it's
wait. Let me do it. Ed Bernard Peter Buck, born Buck Melton, August 24th, 1954. He's an American businessman, a gay political advocate, and a Democratic political fundraiser. A former model and actor, he made a significant amount of money running and selling the data service company Gopher Courier. Blah, 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 blah. Two African-American men has been discovered dead in Buck's West Hollywood home since 2017 due to drug overdoses. Several reports indicate that Buck had a history of bringing African-American men to his house where he would reportedly inject them with crystal meth for sexual gratification.
There you go. That old meth.
In January 2019,
there you go.
A coalition of 50 civil rights, blah, 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 blah. Yeah. They got another one. They got another story. And that's why when I heard that shit, it was like, and then the other dude again, he's like, yeah, me and Gillum, we cool. Now I don't know what wedding he talking about, but we friends.
We cool.
We friends. But I don't know about the wedding.
During the wedding.
I must have been in the prone position when he was at his wedding, passed the fuck out on the bed or some shit because I missed that wedding part. You know, that's probably what he told his wife. No, I have to run to this constituent's wedding. Oh no, you guys can stay. You don't want to go. You don't want to be there. You know, the coronavirus. Went out there to see his butt buddy. That shit crazy, yo. And then if you watch on Netflix the documentary, which is boring as hell anyway, but the staircase about the white dude that fucking he got accused of killing his wife and shit like that, and it's like, you know, did he push her down the stairs or did she fall down the stairs or whatever? But still had a little gay little shit, you know what I'm saying, where he'll get some military gay dude or whatever, and they'll be fucking this shit. And what I noticed with the gay dude that the old dude was fucking with the staircase shit, and even the and the little nurse dude with the Andrew Gillum shit, it's the same shit. These are some bulky ass white boys. You know what I'm saying? These ain't no skinny, sissy white boys. These are some bulky-ass white boys that you wouldn't even look at them and be like, oh, these niggas. I mean, I'm trying not to say niggas, but you know what I'm saying? These dudes gay. Right. No. You say you wouldn't even know that. I guess when you see how they act or whatever like that. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, nah, this is their get up. They called them. They called them for dates. This is prostitute shit. You know what I'm saying? We read in the story what he said. 1 o'clock, they called the medics. But the dude said he walked inside at damn 11 p.m. And it was already towed back. So
it was lit. Getting lit.
Remember, it was at a wedding. It was at a wedding. So from 11 to 1, what wedding is this? Like, come on, man. Come on, yo. Weirdo shit, man. Weirdo shit, yo. But yeah, you got something you got to say on that?
I mean, this is the weird shit that be going on. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, you know, this is like, you know, it's like this is going back to Andrew Gillum. You know what I'm saying? It's like, at some point, you know, you got people that's putting their faith in them, you know, giving him a vote, following him, you know what I'm saying, donating to his cause and shit like that. And then, like, this is what you do in your spare time, you know what I'm saying? You ain't building an agenda.
Yeah,
again, people make mistakes and do shit like that, but it's like, what the hell? Okay, well, what's funding this shit? You funding money that somebody donated to you or something like that? You know what I mean? It's like, so it's like when you look at it, it's just like, just an example of a black man wasted, if you ask me. You know what I'm saying? You hear out in politics, so it's like if you don't really have, you know, a moral compass in your regular life, you know what I'm saying? You can't really have you're not gonna have one in politics. So it's like, who, you know, who should be following you? You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, it just goes to show that with our, you know, with black people as a whole, you can't believe in the politician. You got to believe in the agenda and the shit that they bring into to the table for, you know, the economic future for, you know, the future for black people. Because when you just promoting and putting yourself, you know, and supporting just a person, not so much what they trying to do, it's like you get shit like this. You look at the mic, like, oh my. This is my guy right here. What's going on? You know what I'm saying? You feel like you wasted time, you wasted money, wasted energy, even putting in that. And then for him, you know, for him not to have no agenda, you know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm pretty sure he don't. So it's like, it's crazy, you know what I'm saying? Politics is usually.
It's real crazy. Yeah. And see, because, again, when you don't have your economy where you can put your people in there to do your bidding, then you end up getting the scammers. You end up getting the manipulators. Because guess what? They'll get up and they'll be like, well, shit, nobody want to get. I'll get up. I'll play that role. And then they out there doing what they got to do for a check. When you read, even in the letter, again, they're talking about the different scandals he had. He out there taking these different trips and taking donations and being invested. Yeah, so it's just like,
so you know
shit was
that
funny.
crystal meth that was on the bed, some drug dealer right now is pockets his line like, yo, yeah, you know Andrew Gillum started her work.
And guess what too?
Funding money and spending that shit. He already got that in his pedigree. So you already know.
And on top of that, you gotta remember, he ain't the first politician to be a junkie. Yeah. He ain't the first black politician to be a junkie. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, come on, you know what I'm saying? So nothing that's and that's the whole point that I'm making. Now put the bhakti shit away.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? If you're saying that you didn't do the drugs, you was at this imaginary wedding, and you were just drunk, why do you need privacy? That makes no sense to me. That's why when I was reading the shit, I was like, wait a minute. This part of the story, this shit don't even make sense. Why you and your family need privacy and time? Time to do what? Talk about that you got drunk? You're not an alcoholic, right? You wasn't supposed to not drink, and then you fell off the wagon. Like, if that's not the case, then what is the rest? Oh, you got to read between the lines. We done gave y'all two different examples of these people getting busy with that crystal meth.
Yes.
So you already know that's the drug of choice.
Yeah, and he married, doing some down low shit, married to a black woman. And, like, I was just clicking through, because I was trying to find a picture of his wife. She's kind of attractive. But I found a headline in the Daily Mail from the UK. They call him the dude a gay escort.
I told you. I know he is.
They call him a gay escort.
I know he is.
You know, it says exclusive. This is the gay escort found overdose in the mouth.
Yeah, I know he is. Because that's what in the staircase. That's what the husband who's accused of killing his wife. That's who his boyfriend was. You call him up. And this was a brolic dude, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is not somebody that you would have just saw and would have automatically been like, oh, that man's funny style.
Right.
He's one of those personable, talkative, and like there's black people we probably would have looked and been like, them white boys,
and then
funny.
Just tie it into like, like just the things we've been going through. Like we was talking about, like with the coronavirus, the media and shit, how media is set up. So, like, you was reading a different article than I was, but, like, I was looking at the Miami Herald article. So, they got the, all the stuff. It's a different article, but they got pictures of the what was his name? Dyson guy. And so they got pictures of him in there, and he, like, in a nursing uniform, taking a selfie. Got his little, what is it, stethoscope, whatever that's called. Got it around his neck. Got Dockers on. Looking like a clean crew cut. Clean guy, bald head and whatever. Career guy.
Yeah.
Then when you go to the UK joint, they showing this nigga with no shirt on. This cat is doing some. They got him blocked out, but you know what I'm saying? He's like flexing. Look, I guess he's naked, but they got the black over it. Like they showing like basically explicit photos. You know what I'm saying? So it's like two different shits, like how it's gonna be reported and shit. Like you was pretty much reading over it, extracting things from, the text itself. Where you have to just read between the lines, whereas, a foreign report is just like really just giving it how it is. It's like, all right, this is
telling you
this is what really going on. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, he is a politician, so it's like American politician. So, they still gonna play between those lines. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Some crazy shit, yo. But yeah, boy. See, and that's why I be like, we talking all this racism and white supremacy. Man, we got so much shit that we got to deal with and worry about. We ain't got time to be worrying about whether white people like us or not. We got damn infiltrating ass politicians that's coming in fronting like they give a fuck about our agenda when they just inside here trying to collect a check from the people to stay in public and shit while they do their own little nastiness behind the scenes. That's it. Because he was still interested in being in politics. He still wanted to run for higher offices and things of this nature. So he's part of that Bati circle that like to be into politics and entertainment and all kind of shit like that. You know what I'm saying? He's part of that circle. But that's how he played, you know what I'm saying? You keep their names, you put it on the list, you pay attention to their character. Because they all share the same characters, they all do the same things. Like when you really pay attention, they all follow a certain pattern. That's why I be telling people, pay attention when you see these black people that brush their hair to the back. Never trust no black person that brush their hair to the back. You know what I'm saying? Straight up.
Yeah.
Don't ever trust no black person. If they brush their hair to the back, something wrong with them. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta pay attention to that. But keep this right here, Smoke. So we got another story right here. Good old Zimbabwe. So this is a story. The title is called Zimbabwe Give Land Back to White Farmers After Wrecking the Economy. Because, Mugabe's dead. So it goes 2 decades after President Robert Mugabe wrecked Zimbabwe's economy by urging black subsidized farmers to violently force white commercial farmers and their workers off their land. His successor has thrown in the towel. Emerson Mnangagwa government has proposed settling all outstanding claims against it by farmers by offering them land. The object of the regulation is to provide for the disposal of land to persons entitled to compensation. Land Minister Pierre Sherry said in regulations published in the Government Gazette Friday. The seizures that began in 2000 were ratified by the government, which said they were needed to redress colonial imbalances. A vibrant agricultural industry that exported tobacco and roses and grew most of the food the nation needed collapsed. Periodic food shortage ensued. Inflation became the world's highest, and manufacturing industries were decimated. What was one of Africa's richest countries became one of its poorest. Among 45,000 white-owned properties and other protected under government-to-government agreements were affected by the program. The Southern African nations this year budgeted about 380 million Zimbabwe for dollars for compensation. That's about $21 million. Several farms that were protected under so-called bilateral investment protection agreements belongs to nations including the UK, South Africa, Australia, the Netherlands, and Denmark. The contacted reporters on the story. Okay, thank you for that. So now Zimbabwe give back the land to the white farmers. This is why, when it comes to economy is important, and why economy is what black people need to worry about. Not racism, not white supremacy, not white privilege, not none of this other dumb shit. It's economy. Because the Zimbabwe's economy is so fucked up, and because the people done got bred out of knowing how to farm, and they're being pushed out of and not able to participate in the trading of material to these other nations, because black people don't have economies to connect with one another. The new president of Zimbabwe has to give up and say, okay, instead of us paying y'all for taking y'all land that y'all took from us, we're going to give you back the land that we took from y'all that y'all took from us. We're going to give it back to y'all so y'all can work on this land again. You see what I'm saying? This is why economy is important, and this is why economy is the first thing that gets destroyed before you get conquered. White people didn't come into Africa and just kidnap black people and all. No. They destroyed your economy first. Once you destroy your economy, guess what? Now, when white people say, I will pay you if you give me some quote-unquote slaves, it's easy for black people to quote-unquote enslave other black people and sell them to the whites. You know why? Because the economy is broken. So now you just have the underworld. So instead of now us selling each other to the white man, now we sell each other drugs and gangs and bad information. And then we end up going to jail doing these dumb things. And then we already know that the jail and the prison system is what? Slavery. So we're still selling our peoples into slavery. up until this day. Why? Because our economy is wrecked. Go ahead, Smoke.
That shit crazy, man. That shit crazy.
Dark and bumbuckler dead.
I mean, the economy, it controls everything. You know what I'm saying? For them to make a decision like that, it's like, the land was taken over, and then now you're gonna actually give it back. That's like a weak move. But it's like, why would you do that when you already you conquered the land? You took it. It's yours. It's yours again. Why would you give it away? That has to be for some monetary reason.
You don't know
land
what to do
is one of the most powerful. Right. You don't have that.
If you don't know what to do with it. Because if you sit here now and your great-great-grandfathers had this land and they've been growing fruits and vegetables and shit and herding cow and chicken and all kind of shit, and they're the largest producers of food in South Carolina. But then 5 generations later, y'all got degrees. And you like, yo, ain't nobody trying to fucking till no soil. Like, I don't even like cows. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm a vegetarian. I don't even, you know what I'm saying? I'd rather get a high-paying job at a firm, you know what I'm saying, than do this back-breaking type work. So now they sit there now and it's like, well, listen, your pops, he about to, your pops, he about to pass off all of this stuff to y'all. Here's all the land. I don't know what to do with this shit.
Right.
I have all of this land here. I have all of the livestock, but I don't know what to do. So it's not worth nothing.
There's no businesses associated with that, because if you got land and livestock, there's so much shit that you can build off of that. I mean, food grows off the land. You know what I'm saying? When you talk about fruits and vegetables, you need land to do that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So
it's like, if you ain't have no, any businesses or the funds to start these businesses, because you need money to, the shit doesn't just grow out the land. You gotta plant the seeds. You need fertilizer. You need people to work it. So you need the funds to do it. So if it ain't no process to bring funds to even use the land, it's just gonna sit there. So you see that a lot in the South, here in the States, where it's like, older generations of black people, like they might be in a smaller town, especially like here in the Carolinas. It's like they have land. It's not cleared off. They have acres of land, but it's not even being put to use for anything. Like some people might not even be paying their taxes on it, be behind on it, end up losing the land and shit like that because of that. But even if they are keeping it and it's in their family, they have it, it's not being put to use. But then when you look at like one of the ailments of Black America is health, and the things that we buy from the store and eat. So it's like you have people who have the resources, but we're not putting it to use.
Exactly. And then after a while, like you said, you don't keep up with it. You end up losing it or got to sell it for under its worth.
Yeah, because I had no.
Another 100 years. Yeah, then another 100 years, we got less shit. Still trying to figure out what to do. See, when I talk about economy, it's just to really drill that into the head of the people, because I feel like that's a topic that's not really discussed enough. We like to talk about racism. Who gives a fuck? We like to talk about white supremacy. Who gives a fuck? None of that's important. We're talking about how people feel. Who gives a fuck? But economy, that's important. Food, clothes, shelter, having control over that, that's important. Creating industry, that's important. Competing, building, strengthening your communities, that's important. These are the things to survive in a capitalistic society. Not crying about getting picked on because you're not protected. The economy will protect you. That's the part of the game we don't get. They said that Zimbabwe was the breadbasket of Africa. Zimbabwe fed the whole continent. They said Zimbabwe was exporting tobacco and roses throughout the world. You see what I'm saying? But what happened when it comes to the Africans when they took it over from the whites, a lot of them didn't know how to work the field, but then at the same time, I'm wise enough to know that's not the case for a lot. A lot of them did know how to work the field. But you know what their problem was? I blackballed you because I didn't like that y'all took the land back from the whites. So even if you know how to work the land, you have to sell your shit to the people that you kicked out.
Right. Yeah.
So they're going to close the economic door on you, not buy your shit, and then you stuck like Chuck. But when black people start to create and build up and understand the importance of having an economy, then the West Indies can trade with Black America. Africa could trade with Black America. Africa could trade with the Black West Indies. I mean, with the West Indies. The Caribbean. The Caribbean can trade with Black Latin America. Black Latin America could trade with Black Europe. And that will open up the market for us. But no, we get screwed because we have to deal with the people. That's like if all the Crips own or controls all the trade routes. And then Blood is creating products and stuff. But they got to go to Crips now and be like, can you buy our products? And they're like, no, we're not buying your shit. If you want us to buy your shit, you need to have some Crips on your land growing the shit down. So now they on your land growing your shit, but you're not even making no money off. Right, that's how the shit's set up. The only way for these Bloods to be able to eat is if they connect their economies together. That's the only way. But if they have to rely on using Crips to buy their products wholesale, they're going to starve to death. And that's how you have to look at the game. That's how you have to look at the game. Same thing with the coronavirus, right? So the coronavirus shit pops off, everything shuts down because it starts in China, and that's the manufacturing hub of the world. So once the manufacturing hub of the world stops, everything stops. Now tissues and this is shortage here. You got to wait until the manufacturers make them, and then we got to ship them out. I just have to wait a couple longer so we can get our shipments. Where's Black America in all this? We're waiting on the sideline. Why? Because we're not in a position to make or to create our own shit. For years, I've been saying on here, Black people should have products Every product made, there should be a black version of it. Every product made. So now here's a good example. In the case where there's another coronavirus situation, when production stops in China and people can't get shit, guess what? Your production is still going. And all of the demand is going to go to your products. And you will have to ship it to them, to everybody else. You're increasing your money.
Right.
That's how that shit. And as you do that, guess what? You can buy more factories now to produce more on a heavier scale, because now you will still be supplying the parts of the black world that you've been supplying, but you also picked up new customers within the white world, within the Indian world, within the Asian world, within the, you know what I mean, so forth and so on world. Because now they're like, oh shit, there's somebody else I can get it from besides just the Chinese.
Sure.
You can go to places like Brazil, which is 90-something% black. The largest population of black people outside of Africa is in Brazil. Brazil have a high black unemployment, high crime when it comes to black people. How you stop that? Open up factories and jobs over there. Hire your people. See, we don't get it because we're used to being on the bottom. We're used to working. We're used to being told what to do. So the idea of plotting for the elevation of your people, this shit going to take 100, 200, 300 years. But the plotting, the elevation of your people, the industrializing of your people. You're supposed to be sitting around in another 50 years with the designers and the engineers and the techs that we have, and have our own car being produced right here in America. The first black-owned car company being pumped and pressed like the Ford Model T. Pumped and pressed and put together right and tight. And guess what? Everybody right. Cause look, remember the Kia? Remember the Kia cars when they first came out? Now you look at them shits, you might think them shits are some Alexis or something. You like,
they came a long way.
They came a long way, right?
I ain't fucking with no Kia.
Like, nah, I still ain't gonna rock no Kia.
But that what was it? They got a new Jeep, like a SUV type joint. It's kind of big. A lot of people is talking good about that shit. I forget the name of it, but that shit look alright. I can't even front, but I'm like, I wouldn't buy one. I mean, I'm not in the market to buy a car right now. But
yeah.
But if the point is, they came a long way.
They came a long way. They definitely did.
They came a long way. Not to veer off.
Yeah. Cause before, I remember when they first came out, you like, kid, that sounded like, yeah, you driving a girl car, literally. You literally driving a girl car. You know what I'm saying? Like, damn. But the point is, they came a long way. And they designed and they got their shit looking fresh and fly and all that shit. So then you got to say to yourself again, when we going to do that shit? We design. We have designed. All we got to do is pull motherfuckers together. That's it. Pull people together. But see, I don't make nothing sound like it's easy. Everything gonna take time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's a process.
Everything gonna take time. Yeah. It's just throwing it out there for the one who's thinking. Throwing it out there for the one who's wondering. who have the thought and trying to figure out, you know what I'm saying, or thinking about it but can't see the reality in it. And it's like, nah, this is the reality of it. This is how it's supposed to be. You might think about it and come to a wall and be like, but I don't understand how to get to the next level. Yo, just keep worrying about it. Keep brainstorming. And something's going to click and connect. Why? Because it's needed. It has to happen. This isn't something that's like, oh, it's a good idea, it's a good thought. No. This is like a think tank. These things have to happen. Because, again, we're put in a position of waiting until somebody else, not of our group and our demographic, to tell us what the game plan is, to tell us what we got to do next, to tell us when we should be afraid and how we should react and things of this nature. And I don't understand how you, black people, could feel comfortable being in that type of position. Like, that's literally our position, that we just have to wait until we're told to move. And it's like, how long? How long? Even the one of us that's like 35 to 40, we walking around over here now. I know, not 35, maybe, about 38, 39 up. Like in New York, especially. I remember being young when the foreigners in the corner store used to have respect for the customers. Now I grow up to where I'm seeing foreigners in these corner stores showing 100% disrespect towards the black customers. And we're cool and content with this? We're cool and we're content with this? Like, that's the part I don't get, Smoke. That's the part I don't get. Like, we're so, like docile or so used to being treated like this and not having an economy to protect us that we just roll with the punches when it comes to disrespect. It's wild.
Because you know why, we get enough perks to where we can ignore this shit. Yeah, we hear the talks and we know that's how they get us on the emotional side. So it's just enough left to where it's like, all right, when we need to rile them up, we can do it. But it's enough perks out here to where niggas be turning their back like, fuck it. I got this. I can go get me this or whatever, you know what I'm saying? You see that shit with the politicians. They getting enough to where it's like, fuck it. Fuck, I'm doing this for I can go hit crystal meth in South Beach. I ain't worrying about this shit. It'll be right, you know what I'm saying? It's like, that's just what it is. So it's just like, I mean, I don't understand it either, but you know, that's what it seems like. It's just like, it's enough there for just to keep people from revolting. But at the same time, you ain't getting nothing. You know what I'm saying? You getting all but nothing. Shit crazy.
Yeah, shit bugged out to me, man. That's why I'm like at the end of the day, it's like we have to see. All right, so me and my sister, we had a little discussion the other day, right, Zawadi. So that's the lawyer. So we talking about, do you blame the people or do you blame the leadership? So my stance is you blame the leadership. You can't blame the people because the people, they're supposed to be followers. They're supposed to be led. They're supposed to be consumers. They're supposed to be raising their family. They're supposed to be paying their bills and their mortgage, paying their debt, and living a productive life. That's all the people are supposed to be doing. You understand what I'm saying? They're not supposed to be doing nothing else other than that. So if the leadership is misleading the people and feeding the people bad information, then you can't look at the people and fault them when they turn into the end product of that social experiment. So I was saying to her, I was like, if you're constantly telling the people that you have to fight racism, we have to get rid of racism. Racism is the problem in America. Racism, why there's an unemployment gap and a wealth gap between black and white. Racism is the reason why the school system is the way it is. Racism, white privilege, and then the people start to repeat that. You're racist ass, this racist school system, school to prison pipeline. Right? You know what I'm saying? And then it's like, we turn around and be like, these people are stupid. And it's like, nah. They should act like this because this is the misinformation that's being given to them. If they wasn't given, if you telling the people, nah. If the leadership was telling the people, don't worry about racism. Don't worry about that. We know they don't like you. All right, get over it. We know that. But we focusing on building ourselves up. We're not focusing on what somebody think about you. Or as long as they don't touch you, they're not passing no laws to, you know what I'm saying, to hold you back. We fighting against all those fronts. As long as they don't put their hands on you, who cares what they think? Then guess what? The people are not going to say that no more. They're not going to worry about that. I told my sister, I said, even with the statue shit, we out here tearing down Confederate statues and shit. I'm like, for what? For what? Leave their statues up. These are the statues of losers. These are the statues of people that you want to say is racist. So leave them up. Let that be their shame. But no, we tear them down. For what? Build your statues up of black greatness. That way when people come from overseas to America, guess who they want to snap pictures next to? Black greatness. They're not going to come and want to snap pictures next to Confederate statues. You know what I'm saying? It's like, who gives a like, make that shit corny, clown their ass for that shit. But no, we want to sit over here and we're going to make you love us because you're still dependent on them.
When you got a statue, that means you controlling that environment. You know what I'm saying? It's like, what, Michael Jordan got a statue, you know what I'm saying? Fucking Rocky got a statue, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? Well, I control this, I put a statue of whatever the hell I want. So it's just like, we got to control shit and put up our own shit and erect our own monuments and shit but we got to appreciate black people also, you know what I'm saying? A lot of times we want certain shit, but we'll be shitting on our damn people, shitting on our ancestors. People, you know, not following their directives and shit like that. So it's like, yeah, but when we control what we supposed to, we'll have them statues up there. We'll have the shit that we supposed to have. But until then, we got to tear down this shit.
Nah, I feel that. I feel that too.
I mean, I don't have an attachment to shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, to me, it don't. Yeah. I see a General Lee or something, or like a Confederate flag. It really don't resonate with me. It's just like, all right, that's somebody's flag. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, wave your flag. You know what I'm saying? So I'm with you. I don't.
That's my.
I don't see the. It's really pointless. Is really what it is. Like, you tear it down. Like, what? I mean, what that is gonna happen? You know, like what is that accomplished? It's like an emotional win. I feel good because I knocked that over.
That's my
like, you know what I mean? That's basically what it is. So yeah, you know, I won't even say that. You can understand. You can understand somebody doing it, but it's really not. In the big scheme of things, it really doesn't mean anything. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, to me, it's a waste of time because you fighting something that's not that important. The important part is strengthening yourself as a race, strengthening yourself economically through building your economy. Then we said, look, Byron Allen. Byron Allen. Let me see. Can I find that story? I just saw a story the other day on Byron Allen. He about to buy another something. Where he just dropped. Here it goes. Byron Allen. He makes an $8.5 billion bid for a TV station, and he did that shit with cash. It's called Tegna. It's Byron Allen makes an $8.5 billion cash bid for broadcaster Tegna, Tegna. Media entrepreneur Byron Allen has made an all-cash bid for Tegna and is said to be one of 3 potential buyers circling the Tysons, Virginia-based broadcaster, according to a source familiar with the situation.
$20 a share.
Yep, or for $20 a share, or about $8.5 billion. The source said it is going up against Gray Television, which last week made an offer also for $20 a share, but in a combination of cash and stock.
Straight cash,
so, Byron Allen, here's a straight
cash.
He says Byron, private equity firm Apollo Global Management, which recently acquired stations from Cox, also made a bid for $20 a share, said a source familiar with the situation. Allen's offers represents a significant premium to the current price of Tegna shares, which have been buffeted like some media stocks and just about all stocks by the market's recent slump. Tegna closed down 8% Wednesday to $16 to $16. The volatility due, blah, 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 blah. So, yeah, so that's him making that little move right there, you know what I'm saying? Now, and when we talking about the black business class, that's why I say, why we keep talking about the people. The people need to unite. The people need to come together. No, the people need to be doing what the fuck they're doing. It's the business, the black business community that needs to come together. The Byron Allen and the other media moguls, right? They all need to come together and work together to just start taking on, you know what I'm saying, type shit like that. Because everybody can't do the same shit. Everybody can't do the same shit. We can't sit there and say, well, why Byron Allen can't get some of that money and donate that to a blood. No, that's not his job. His job is to dominate that media field. That's his job. Tyler Perry's job is to dominate that movie field. That's his job. Oprah funky ass job is supposed to be doing whatever her job is supposed to be. That's her job. But they supposed to come together. You see what I'm saying? Like, let's use them 3, and they're supposed to work together and be like, okay, how we're going to do this and use that to strengthen the black community. How do you use that to strengthen the black community? When you're buying all of these businesses and shit like that, you slowly start replacing them with black talent. You slowly replace them with some of the top black talent. That way you're strengthening that shit. You know what I'm saying? These same businesses have to donate to the schools. Put a media program into these schools and shit like that. So you know what I'm saying, to keep them, and then that's how you end up strengthening your people, strengthening your economy that you're building, strengthening the workforce. You know what I'm saying? And it's going to take time because it's going to be generation. You're going to see the unemployment drop and stay low for decades and generations. You see what I'm saying? Stay low, not low when a Democrat is in office and high when a Republican is in office, or high when a Democrat's in office and low when a Republican is in office. No, that means they control who works and who don't work. Who the hell want to be in that type of position? Forever. You want to be in that type of position. Come on. That don't make no sense. And then we're gonna keep on screaming another 300 years. Black Lives Matter. Why? Why? Because 300 years from nothing changed. We still ain't got no economy.
Education.
So we still out here begging. Man, it's just a
job creation.
Prison reform. That's our favorite. Prison reform. You got to go to jail. You have to go to jail and able to get represented. And if you're black, what kind of stupid shit is this? You know what I'm saying? You got to go to jail or you got to be in school. So you got to be in some type of institution. You got to be in somebody's institution.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm bugging. I thought I had a spliff.
You looking for that shit?
Yeah, I thought I had that shit. I feel like somebody snatched it from me. Yeah, but shit, we got 4 more minutes. Damn, I feel like I don't feel like I smoked my whole shit. But
almost 2 hours, so.
Yeah, man. Shit, so this is going to be interesting. I knew it. There you go, right there on the fly. I knew I was tripping. I'm like, I know I ain't smoked that whole spliff. Ditto spliffy. Yeah, so I got some good news on the Torelli Drell joint. So yeah, on the 17th, so I'm supposed to go see the judge. So
that's good.
guess everything. Hopefully, yeah, everything will be good on that part.
At least we'll move forward and figure out what the hell. That was the first update I heard from.
Yeah, man. Yeah, so yeah, that's a crazy situation right there.
Dark and Bumbleclad dead.
Yeah, that's a crazy situation right there. Yeah, he had to film me so I could pause so I could hear what the hell that whole shit was about. But the Democrats and the Republicans, they just signed off on that relief package for the whole coronavirus shit. Where they're gonna be so they're gonna be kicking in like tens of billions of dollars on sick leave, unemployment insurance, food stamps, and other measures to address the unfolding crisis. So, your government is working for you. So that's what's going on. Yeah, they're trying to do that shit. Me, like, what happened?
No, I was just saying coronavirus.
But I'd say what, though, man? Black people, get into the stocks. You know what I'm saying? And get into this investing shit. Some of the stocks I'm looking at, Ford, was dropped a lot. Sirius Radio, which is like at $5.90, but that shit was like $6 high $6, almost $7. Ford, I want to say was like 10. Yeah, about 7. Okay, so 7. Ford was like 10. AMD, which is a chip stock, like I said, that shit was in the 60s. That shit was like, I think it should be like 40 something now, maybe like 51 now, something like that. Another one is Prudential PRU is probably in the 50 range now, but they have a dividend for $1.10. That's another good one to put your money in. What's another good one? INSIG, INSG. That's a 5G stock. That's like at $4, I want to say, but that shit was just like at $7, like a couple of like last month. That's another good one. But yeah, we counting down to the couple of seconds. We're coming to the end of the show. Peace to the world, peace to the black world. Appreciate to the listeners, appreciate to the supporters.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? Go to that YouTube page, in Black America Radio, on the YouTube. Support the page, support the channel, like, subscribe, all that, you know what I'm saying? And